following program is an exclusive Disruption Networks production.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned, or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome, or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Join us Saturday, October 13th as Disruption Network and Doughboy Barbecue presents Trip Fest 2 at the Jewish Community Center, 2310 Oneida Street in Utica. A night to pay homage to Vinny, Captain Trip Moriel. Utica icon, yo! Come pick through all Captain Trip's personal treasures, local artist display, food from Doughboy Barbecue, beer, wine, and live music. Bands include, after a 24-year hiatus, the return of Taurus, Kate Devin, The Crazy Fools, Thunderwatt, and a 315 All-Star tribute to the Grateful Dead. Tickets are $10 in advance and $15 at the door. Partial proceeds to benefit Laney's Army. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Taurus kicks it all off at 6:30. It's Trip Fest 2, Saturday, October 13th. Trip Fest 2 is sponsored by Nye Volkswagen of Rome, 92.7 FM The Drive, Priceless Inspection, Donato Appraisal Services, Dr. Scott Domenico, and Saranac Brewery.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when three top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.
Welcome to EC Radio Podcast. We would like to thank all of our sponsors for joining the Disruption team, and we hope that you will support all of our sponsors. And of course, we appreciate you listening to this program.
Only on the D! EC Radio, Disruption Networks. EC Radio, Disruption Networks.
Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, boys and girls, welcome to the greatest show on earth. It is EC Radio. How you doing, people? How are ya? We're rocking here on a Monday, high above the Todd Williams Broadcasting Plaza in the Apple Box Video Studio. It is EC Radio. How you doing? Greetings and salutations. You can check us out on the World Wide Web at disruptionnetwork.net. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, all the social media platforms. You can find us here on the D, social media land, if you will, world. Anyways, how you doing, chicken?
Doing good, man. Nice, good Monday.
Good weekend?
Good weekend. I worked most of the weekend, but, you know, everybody was cool. We had a cool vibe on Varick Street, so.
Cool. No fights?
No fights. I seen from the across the street, DJ Ease One doing his little birthday party here.
Happy birthday to East One.
Yes, sir.
Today's his birthday.
What, 55?
No. He's close to AARP status right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's right up there. He's getting there. He's like about to collect a check, man.
Yeah? He probably clicked a few of them. SSI, you like.
Happy birthday, Gabe. We love you. Yes, I had a pretty interesting weekend. Want to say congratulations to my friends, the Dudleys, if you will. They got married yesterday at the Cannery. You ever been to the Cannery?
No, I have not.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Heather Beebe joining us today. Hi, Heather.
Hi.
You've been to the Cannery?
I have.
It's a pretty cool place.
Yes. Chris
Where,
and Kyle
where's
got
the
married.
cannery?
The Cannery is in Vernon. It's right next to Dibbles.
Dibbles.
Oh, okay.
In fact, you park in Dibbles and go into the Cannery. Nice little setup. So congratulations to Mariana and Dudley. I was calling it Dudley's dick funeral. But yeah, it was a good time. It was good to hang out with a lot of the pirate crew yesterday and stuff like that. I got to catch the UFC fight the other night too. Did you watch any of that?
No, I was working for that, but I, everybody on Facebook, had an opinion and posting things.
That was crazy.
Watching ESPN, man, wow, what a nutty thing that was, huh?
Khabib is 100% the heel of the UFC, and I love it. I love a good bad guy, and I feel like Khabib is that bad guy right now.
But it's like,
but he's going to get suspended.
It's so weird because, Conor McGregor was kind of the bad guy in all this. Like, he kind of initiated the whole thing.
He got stepped on.
This is so UFC or WWF to me, though. Like,
it is 100%.
It just seems so weird. Like, we're looking at McGregor get what, like 3-4 years in prison, and then all of a sudden he's doing a sanctioned fight. Like, what, months
He's
later?
done. He's got $100 million in the bank from fighting
He's not
Floyd
done.
Mayweather.
They're going to do a rematch.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely. And can you imagine? Because now this is right in Vegas. Dana White's going to put out, like, he's all pissed off, but he loves it because it's all over ESPN. It's all over the social medias.
Major controversy.
So he's eating it up.
Oh yeah.
So you tell me when they do a rematch, everybody's going to be in on this. I mean, they just had the Pikey hit from Snatch, the movie Snatch. It was like perfect.
You said that earlier.
Yeah.
Like, you're so right about that.
It was like right down to the T, and you just need Bricktop.
Yeah.
But I feel like once you do the rematch, it's going to be huge purse.
Huge. I don't see Conor beating
Record-breaking purses for UFC.
Khabib is so badass, dude. He's the best fighter in all of that MMA stuff.
I almost look at it too as like a handoff. Like kind of like we're seeing with Eminem.
Handoff. Khabib's been fighting. He's 27-0.
No, I mean handoff in the spotlight world. You know what I'm saying? Like like you had Eminem versus this Machine Gun Kelly. I never even heard Machine Gun Kelly till this whole feud.
He's actually playing Tommy Lee in the Motley Crue movie.
That's the only time I ever heard of him was because of that. And so now like he's in everybody's mouth because it's all over social media. The same thing with this Khabib kid. Like he's a badass, but like he kind of got lost in the shuffle with the the spotlight of McGregor. So now it's almost like a handoff. Here's your new champion. Here's your new, and McGregor goes off to the sunset. Now they rally around this Khabib kid.
No, they don't. Not rallying around him at all.
They will.
He's a bad boy. He's a Russian bad boy right now. They hate him. They were you seen all the stuff they were throwing at him when they're dragging him out of the ring.
So many people that love this kid because he beat the crap out of McGregor.
He did.
He McGregor turned a lot of people.
Choked him out.
So
it was interesting. Heather has no idea what the hell we're talking
I
about.
do. I used to watch UFC. I used to follow a lot more. I liked Carlos Condit.
Oh.
He had like the little mole. He was pretty good looking. I think that's why I liked him.
Because he was so hot. He was so hot.
That was a long time ago. I don't even know if he fights anymore.
Also, got to talk about my beard dyeing this week. You like the beard, Heather?
Like it.
Like it?
Yes.
It is
very pink.
It's like hot pink.
Hot pink.
Hot pink.
Magenta pink.
That's what I went for.
Yeah.
Great dime bag Duralish.
Yes. Big ups to my good friend Kelly Myers over at Runway Salon over in the New Hartford Shopping Center. It was good to see her and all the girls, Renee and all my friends that haven't seen in over a year since the last time I got my beard dyed. So making strides against breast cancer. Real Men Wear Pink, the whole Disruption Network crew is a part of it. We have our page, which I just posted a little while ago on this live feed, so you can make a donation to our Real Men Wear Pink. We need our donations up, actually. We've only got a couple $100, and we've got a goal to hit, people. So please help us. I know a lot of people aren't rich in any way, and times are tight right now, and work is tight and stuff like that. But $10-15 if you could throw in our account, every little bit helps.
The D loves the B's, the C's, the D's,
F's, double F's,
and we got love for the A's too.
Yeah, we got all of them. We got love for everybody. But it's Real Men Wear Pink. I did post the link up there, so if you guys want to check it out and click donate, please help us out, your friends here today. We're going to be doing some guest bartending over at Wakely's on the 17th of October, and we've got a bunch of good fun fundraising things that we're going to be doing throughout the month of October, because October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So super important to help out the women. We wouldn't be on this earth if it wasn't for women. So got to take care of the women.
And who loves breasts more than men?
Yeah. You always got to go there, don't you, chicken?
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, real men wear pink. You know, we're here for the ladies.
That's it. I'm loving my beard this year, though. I think it's good. I love how everybody, like, I'll be out in public. We were at the wedding yesterday, and people just want to throw in their wise-ass comments like, oh, nice beard, asshole. I'm like, what have you done for breast cancer? Yeah. So, I get that a lot. Like, hey, you guys can make fun of me all you want as long as you make a donation. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. Make fun of me. I have thick skin. I like getting my balls busted. I'm used to it. You know, I
Should
hang
have
out
an
with chicken
automatic
every day.
asshole jar.
Man, we could
Anyone
have-
who makes a comment has to donate.
Ooh, I like that.
Just keep it in your pocket every time.
I like that.
Well, we could just do a roast, like a drive-by roast. People just come in, pay $5, and just like rip on Z for a little while.
Hey, that'd be cool. A drive-by roast. You might be onto something there. I like it. Drive-by roast. But yeah, you can make fun of me all you want. Just click that donate button, please. It's for a good cause. And we're going to have Bob from the Cancer Society on Thursday. He's going to come in and give us some pink stuff because nobody has pink. None of us.
Yeah, I don't
and
pink.
the crew, nobody owns pink. We're men. Well, actually, Bizz probably owns pink because usually
He can
the only
rock
people
it.
that can rock pink are black men.
Yeah.
You know, black men look great in pink. I don't look good in pink, but black men
Although
do.
I can't see M-Dub wearing pink.
I bet you he's got a pink shirt
He
out
might
there.
have.
I'm sure he does.
Yes, I'm sure.
I'm sure he does. So, Heather, it's great to see you.
Yes, you too.
You just got done hiking Bald Mountain?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah? And you came right here.
Pretty much. I dropped Sean off and then I came.
Are you tired?
No, I feel fine. I wanted to lay down. I tried to lay down for a minute, but
Yeah.
I feel like after you do a mountain like that, you're almost like have more energy.
yeah, well, that's a little mountain. So,
Yeah.
But it was nice. Some fresh air.
It's a fun one, though. It's an easy climb.
Yeah. Well, we went out last night. That doesn't help.
No, that don't. Yeah. Trying to keep up with a rock star. Yeah. And then you got him up in the
I'm not
morning
kidding.
to
I
hike.
already gave that up.
How'd you do that? How'd you get him up in the morning to hike?
You just didn't go to bed.
You know who her boyfriend is?
You don't have to-
Chicken?
I do.
You do know who her boyfriend is? Should we throw him under the bus?
I think you should.
I think we should too, because you know I've been inviting him to come on this show for about 2 years now, and he just refuses. But I stopped asking. But anyway, so this is a good time to give him a couple zingers.
Well, I mean, a guy like that. I mean, he's a big guy, and he's
Well, yeah.
he's like way too sexy for this studio.
He's a big, sexy dude.
You know, it's just kind of hard for him to come in here like this.
You see how sappy and sweet he is.
So you got him to hike Bald Mountain. Did you bring a bottle of Jack and a pack of Marlboros for him?
Yeah, I hit him at the top. I was like, the only way you're getting him is if we get up there.
In an oxygen tank.
But then he wanted to have like Uber Treats bring us food up there. I don't think they're going to do that.
I come up with a drone.
They wouldn't go that far, huh?
He did have that idea though.
Yeah. You got him pretty active lately, though, huh? Here he goes. He's saying, here we go. You got him pretty active, though, right now. I feel like you do.
It's his choice.
Mhm.
It's all his choice.
Yeah.
He's not, I don't know. He's doing what he wants to do.
Mhm.
I couldn't make him do everything
Right.
that I do. But I mean, he does get up in the morning if I want him to.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes he's a total asshole in the morning, but it's fine.
I can picture that. I can picture that. We all can be.
Yep.
We all can.
He needs like an hour to like be normal.
Yeah.
And then he's like, oh, hi.
Have
Hi.
the cuppy.
Good morning.
Have the cup of coffee.
Except it's 3 p.m.
Who's got it better than him?
I know.
Who's got it better than him?
Just kidding, honey.
But he's out there playing all the time, though. He's super
Yeah.
busy.
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
paying attention to
Yeah.
his journey and watching him, what he's doing, and he's out there all the time.
Yep.
So
Yep. We play.
keep grinding, Sean. Keep grinding, brother.
Yes.
That's all you got to do. And speaking of grinding, I feel like you're constantly on a grind too.
On the go.
On
All
the go,
time.
go, go, go.
Go, go, go.
She's a Renaissance woman, chicken.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she has her own coaching program as well. She's a mom of 3, and she's got a babysit Big Sexy. Like, I mean, she's got her hands full.
That's my
this
biggest
woman.
job.
No, talk about the coachable you or
Unstoppable you.
Unstoppable. See, why do I slap me, Heather?
I can't read you. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, you can.
Okay. Yeah, so I started, I went through this program. I went up to Denver, did like a really intensive training program to get a certification in integrative holistic life coaching.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah, and I started, it's really kind of cool because I've always been like an entrepreneur at heart. And I started this in my garage about 18 months ago. And it's grown enough that I just rented office space now, so I have one-on-one sessions for people. But I'm also a personal trainer. And I kind of have a subcontracting relationship with All American Fitness in New Hartford. So I work out with my clients there. So it's awesome because I rented an office space in the same building. So now I can book people back to back rather than like being at home coaching because it's a virtual practice. So I have people all over. I coach them, and then I'm like running to the gym to get clients there. So now I can be there all the time. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
When you say virtual, do you have like cameras set up? And
yeah, I have a tripod and a board, so I can kind of write with them. I talk with them. So basically, people come to me, they'll have a situation going on in their life, and we all have realities that we go through. Whatever is going on, we got to just kind of change the way we think about it. So I go through different exercises with them, like mental homework. And I have a curriculum that I follow that kind of gets people thinking a little bit more about the patterns and the way we react to different situations, and how the only way we're going to change what we're doing is how we think about it and our actions. We can't control other people and how they piss us off or whatnot. So, yeah.
Can you give like a little example of like what somebody might come to you for?
So I would say like, all right, generally the most common situation that people, bringing it down to the basic, they are not happy in their current life. And it could be from basically whatever's around them. It could be an unsupportive spouse. It could be an unsupportive parents. People telling you, basically like, okay, so it's your dream to be this. Well, that sucks. They don't make any money. Why do you want to be that? Even though that's like fuels your soul and that's your passion. I don't want you to be that because that sucks. And society doesn't respect that. So you shouldn't be that. So you end up working this other job that you hate, and you're absolutely miserable in your life because you go to this dead end job that you can't stand every day. So then, they get to the point, a breaking point, and they reach out. Like, oh, yeah, I saw this. I saw you talking about this. Like, I just wanted you to, pick your brain on this. So I'll sit down with people, give them a free hour, and then figure out where we're going to go. And then they become a client. So, and then we just work through it, basically getting people to make the decisions for themselves and not based on what other people think they should be doing.
And it's also a workout regimen as well?
So I do, I'm a big believer in balance between the mind and the body. So when you're working out, you're kind of, taking care of yourself that way internally. And then, but also the mental part is, making decisions and actions in your life that make you feel happy too. So I believe in both. Not everybody does both though. Some people, they don't even have the guts to get off the couch yet, so they want to talk, they want to coach, but they don't want to get into the gym, which is fine. I don't make you, you do what you want. But I do offer both, and I encourage both. So, I have a client who, weekly, does his own workout, on his own time, and that's his thing. So I don't work with him at all in the gym, but I coach him. So it just depends what people want.
Can you define holistic for me?
So basically, looking at things more from an internal perspective, how you feel about it, so especially, it's interesting for men, you grow up and you're like, stop being a crybaby. You're being a baby. You're being a fucking baby. You're not a man if you cry, and so, sometimes you need to cry. So, but that's an emotion that comes internally. And if you avoid it, you kind of create anxiety for yourself. When you're having a shitty time, you can, you got to let it out. So holistic, healing is basically listening to your emotions and doing what you feel is right to happen. For me, I've always been a physical person. So I work out, I run, I get outside, stuff like that. It's like how I fill my cup, so you just kind of got to figure out what works for you to get that emotion out from internally. So, that's, to me, that's the biggest cause of anxiety, is basically holding an emotion that needs to get out. Whether it could be, back to UFC, these guys like have rage in them that they got to get out.
Yeah.
And that's why they're in the careers that they choose, that's a natural thing. Like, those guys are super talented in what they're doing. But there's a reason, there's somewhere where that talent's coming from. It's an internal thing, So when you're working with your passion, you just get really good at it. And no matter what you're doing.
I love it. Do you come on a diet plan too?
Don't eat.
Don't eat.
I think it's important.
Yeah.
I think it's important to show too that, like, this is something that like can alleviate people into going into a depression. So they have a soundboard, they can actually like start working on their lives in a better way. A lot of people think, well, I don't need a life coach because I'm not. They might have a negative connotation to it.
Yeah.
And really, it's just sometimes you need that, like, somebody to bounce something off of, or like a little bit of guidance, and help you along your career. And I feel like if a lot of people took advantage of some of those things, you wouldn't have those long-lasting depressions. Because when you're in a job you hate, and I can attest to that. I've been, working in retail for like 10 years, and you learn to hate your job, and then it just affects your whole body. You get stressed out. You get like I said, you get depressed. You gain weight.
Absolutely. And our society is so quick to say, okay, you're feeling like shit. You need to go, get on some meds.
Yeah.
Right.
And, and so holistic healing is more like, well, you don't need meds. You need to get out of the shithole you're in right now. You're literally, it's like, in a petri dish, you put some things in it to grow, and you put it in a dark room, it doesn't grow, so you got to sometimes change the environment you're in to grow. And if we're not growing, we're not doing anything for ourselves, So it's always, the things that I do with my clients, there's always homework and activities to get them growing and to get them in action, not sitting and pondering around in their stress. Like we're all going to have stress. There's no doubt in my mind that every day there's a chance to run into drama.
Yep.
Basically, the tools in life coaching is like get through it quick, suck it up, and go get on with it, but feel it. If you feel mad, feel mad. If you feel upset, feel upset. Get it out. That's good. Don't hold it in. You're going to get anxiety about it. Get it out, but get over it. Get on to the next thing.
Yeah, don't let it
So it's
fester.
action step, and action step after action step, and just getting to do what you want.
And some people need that, just little guidance and direction. A lot of people don't have that non-biased opinion that they could talk to and bounce things off of.
Yeah, yeah. Or they've been made to feel broken. So you have women who've been like abused or, and I mean, look at what's going on right now in politics. You have these women like reaching out and stuff. And they're feeling really upset about a situation because it's serious for them. There's a history there for them, and they're hurt. So in general, but society looks at someone like that like, she's so messed up. Like, oh, she's messed up because this happened to her. Oh, she's broken, or or whatever. And the same with men. Men could go through something really difficult. Like, he's broke. That's it. He's done. And there's a huge difference between a severe mental illness and just having a bad day. We all have bad days. We could all look at ourselves and say, I feel a little bit bipolar sometimes. I'm having a really freaking good week this week, and Monday sucked. Or, we can all have that, but there's nothing wrong with that. And I think we're so quick in society to say, okay, like, you've had 3 days that are down in a row. Something's wrong with you.
Right.
And it's not really the case.
It's kind of a depressing world we're living into right now.
Yeah.
The political rank and the country's so damn divided and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know where we're headed. And I just feel like everybody's angry and on edge now, and you kind of need to take a little edge off.
Well,
Totally.
And also I think about people like, circumstances happen, like, people get divorced.
Absolutely.
Somebody might
Huge.
get cheated on, or, like now you live with somebody for 20 years, now you got to recreate your entire life and figure out who you are. Or you could have worked for the same company for 30 years, all of a sudden you get laid off. Now what do I do?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Like, this
Totally.
is all I know.
Totally.
So, like,
Totally.
A lot of people try doing that on their own because they don't know where to go. And that's where I could see something like, a life coach, helping them away.
Yeah. Yeah. And so people are like, life coach, like, what the hell do you know? Like, who are you to say that you're a life coach? Like, how is your life so good? And you're like, no, it's not. I'm just not afraid to talk about it.
Right.
So, many people know I went through an unplanned pregnancy, and that for me was the one thing that put me into a position. I was working in corporate America. I knew I wasn't happy. I knew I wanted to get out, but I just didn't have it yet what I wanted to do. And this is something I've always thought about. I've always been, exercising for therapy. And so I was like, I want to think of something, So when I had my son, I was, it was a big reality check for me. Unplanned pregnancy is no joke. I could have not had the baby, had an abortion, kept it a secret, and lived with that the rest of my life. And I didn't want to. And I believe, in the choice, whatever. It's my business. But, I felt pressured almost to do it because I felt like, women who have, because I was married before, now I have this child from another relationship. Oh, that looks bad. That looks bad towards women. It looks like, irresponsible, but I'm a responsible person. Well, that looks like, just bad planning, And I'm like, well, all these things. I'm like, holy shit, I'm none of those things. This happens all the time.
Just a curveball of life.
Absolutely. Right. So basically I embraced it, was vocal about it. And then I have women reaching out to me that want to talk about things that they've gone through because they're like, you know what? That's reality. You can't resist the reality of our lives. You embrace it and run with it and go with it. And it just works out. So that's when I started my practice. I was actually sitting in Bite Bakery thinking of how I was going to do this, and ended up writing up a couple of ideas and went up to the Small Business Administration, sat with them, worked on a plan, and started it right in my garage based on something that was really difficult that I went through that has inspired others to reach out.
And how long ago was that?
That was in April of 2017.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you're kicking ass.
Yeah. I'm super. Yeah. Yeah. So, and my baby's 3, and he's awesome. So it's really cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like the positivity that you're throwing out there on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And it's important to stay positive, and you're reflecting on others too. So you got to keep everybody, your clients and stuff, you got to keep them in a positive manner as well.
Totally. A lot of people reach out to me through social media. That's like basically where I get my people.
Right.
I've had a couple of people here locally. Now that I have office space, I didn't actually intend to have an office. I wanted to keep this virtual because I planned on like moving out of here when my kids, finish school in this area. So organically, it just kind of happened that I had people locally. So I was meeting with them in like little places I could meet with them, cafes and stuff. But sometimes people really need some privacy, and I knew it was coming, so I just had the opportunity to get this spot, and I snagged it. So, but I travel a ton, and I wanted to keep it virtual, but it's, organically kind of grew this way, which is cool. It's a good thing to have.
I'm glad you mentioned traveling because I know you've taken a couple trips down to Puerto Rico after the hurricane.
Yes.
To help out.
Yes.
Talk about that experience going down there. What was that like? And also let people know that place is still kind of in shambles down there, isn't it?
Yeah, totally. So, in general, I've been traveling to Puerto Rico for several years now, way before the hurricane even passed. So, in general, I would say that Maria was a wake-up call for a lot of abandonment that's been going on between the government here and the government there. The infrastructure is horrible. And there's a couple of different, things that have gone on over history, in the last 100 years since we've taken over them, that just were abandoned by making, decisions that protected the United States rather than the island, with federal tax breaks and things like that. So, when Maria came through, just things were vulnerable, and it literally collapsed the entire power grid, which some areas still don't have power,
Wow.
Yeah. So, so we made a video on my Facebook page for my business to gather supplies, and I ended up having a mountain of stuff in my garage here in East Utica. And I had no clue how I was going to get it down there. It was like no good deed goes unpunished. And it was like, oh, shit. So I ended up, Cab V actually sponsored a huge shipment for me,
they're awesome.
kind of under the radar. Yeah, they didn't really want any recognition at the time because they didn't want people coming to them to help ship down there. But I ended up shipping 16 moving boxes, including a generator for a small business.
Wow.
And I flew down with 300 pounds of stuff and made friends with a friend through social media, and never met this kid before in my life, and had him pick me up when I got down there. Took me to FedEx. We loaded his truck, and we went out into the mountains on the west side in a town called Adjuntas. And ended up distributing goods, medical supplies, food, and just sanitary items, for 150 families.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, straight here from Utica, New York. People were
Great job.
Amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. We had, and it was like almost like $4,000 in cash too that people had donated that I hand delivered to the Rotary Club of San Juan to be distributed through projects now that are going on.
This is all through the Rotaries?
This project was on my own. This was literally a video I made online that just exploded.
Funded it yourself?
I funded it myself. The people donated. I made because I was a stranger online and it just blew and it had so much attention. I gave people the choice if they wanted to make a check for safety reasons to the Rotary Club that I would hand deliver it. I am a Utica Rotarian, but this project was something I did on my own. So when I arrived there, I did attend the Rotary Club down there to hand deliver the money. So people knew it was going to the right place, So
that's amazing.
Yeah.
And what's it like down there right now?
So it's still bad. It's still really bad. If you go into the rural areas.
Power.
Yeah. So FEMA, and it's sad because FEMA, the people that were down there, I don't want to knock what the people did that were down there. They were working their best.
Yeah.
I truly don't think that we were prepared for such a disaster. And so the people worked their tails off, but I believe that there's still so much more that needs to be done, and they stopped too soon. So a lot of applications for aid have still, they were denied. And then so people, what do you call it when they, resubmit their application?
Reapply.
Yeah. It's basically like to rebuttal what they're saying, like, okay, so this is the reasons why we should qualify. And there was like 80% of them still haven't been answered. So that my friend who picked me up and took me to the FedEx to pick up all my stuff, his family actually lost their entire home. And they still don't have an answer. So it's just a concrete slab sitting there waiting to be built. So they rented a house, and he lives in Boston now, working his tail off, helping his family down there. So, it's just it's bad. It's bad. But
are you going down anytime soon? Are you going back down?
Yeah. So that was my response with like the emergency response is a bit different. Now I'm looking at sustainability and what I can contribute towards moving forward, and with now with Rotary, it's easy because I can make a big project. So we're doing a project with an elementary school in Adjuntas, the town where I was, to get them some resources that they need. And again, like, the exodus and everything in Puerto Rico has been going on for over, 20 years, the worst of it in the last 10 years, not because of Maria. Maria definitely magnified it. But it's been going on. So the public education system is really suffering, and a lot of the middle class has moved out. So I would like to work towards that. So we're doing that. And then also part of my business, so Unstoppable You, I'm going to be hosting a wellness retreat, a women's wellness retreat in Rincon, which is the city known as the Sunset City. It's a surfing city. It's a really chill little town, and I rented a gorgeous luxury home, and I'll take 12 women down with me, and every day is something different. So I got a yoga instructor that's going to be there on staff. I got a chef that's going to be there.
Wow.
So
That's women only.
Women only this time, but there will be more. There will be more. So part of my dream, making my dreams come true and like doing this whole like business is to start holding these in different destinations all over, including, especially Puerto Rico, because I just love to bring the business down right now. And I've traveled so much on the island that I can go places that people, otherwise wouldn't get a chance to see. So I'm super pumped about that. But yeah.
Take me through the retreat. What's going to happen in this retreat?
So every day, it's all by free will. So every day there's going to be a different thing to do, and it's up to you if you want to do it. So, but always yoga available, workout, obviously healthy eating. We're going to take a couple day trips to different locations, hiking into some beaches that are kind of like really secluded. You got to hike to get to them. One's called Survival Beach. It's in Aguadilla, which is in the north side of the island. It's amazing, and it's all these like huge ass rocks all over the beach, and you got to hike through the woods to get there.
Why is it called Survival Beach?
I don't know. I should probably find out. Every beach has some name. It's like a lot of like little wars, because they had a lot of little wars in the history of Puerto Rico, like to take over different countries invading the islands. There's like a lot of. There's even one beach called the Battle Beach, and it's surrounded by salt, like natural salt. What do you call it? There's reserves. It's pretty amazing, actually. It's like pink.
Really?
Yeah, it's really beautiful. It looks like pink swimming pools everywhere. It's salt.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So, so there, and then there's another place we're gonna go. It's called Gilligan's Island. It's a little small island on the south side of the island. You got to take a boat to get there, but it's like a natural.
Like a 3-hour tour.
All day. When we go there, we're going all day. We're just gonna float around in the water all day. But yeah, so just a couple ideas, and then we'll do like some personal development work. So the women, come in with an intention, a vacation that they're not just going to be vacationing, but they're also going to be doing some personal development work, something that they want to hit the ground running in 2019. So
very cool. And so you're taking what, 11, 12?
I have 12 slots.
12 slots?
Yep.
Very cool.
And they're filling up. So
are they?
Yeah. Yep.
That sounds interesting. We should do a men's retreat.
I would love to do it.
I don't know, man. I think we get in trouble.
Yeah, we probably would. But that's cool.
Yeah.
Heather Beebe, how can people get in touch with you? Like if they're interested in getting some life coaching done from you, or maybe want to start a workout program with you, how do people get in touch with you?
Yeah. So you can find me on social media, Heather Beebe. My last name is like Beebe. It's like weird. It's so simple that people don't get it.
2 letters.
I know. Beebe, Heather Beebe. UnstoppableYouCoach.com. That's my website. And, again, all my information's on the website. You can actually reach out to me. My cell number is actually right there. And then Facebook, social media, private message me there, whatever works for the people. And my email, heatherutica@gmail.com. It's easy.
It's been interesting watching your journey and hearing your story of where you were and what made you start all this too. I wanted to ask all that. So I'm glad you got it down. They're saying a men's retreat to New York City. I don't know about that. Also, Mr. Rogers is saying Puerto Rico has been a territory of the U.S. since the 1800s. There's no reason they should still have infrastructure issues, and some places still have no power. And
I agree.
Right.
You want me to tell you something really quick?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So in response to that comment, just to thank you for commenting. But all right, so Puerto Rico was traded to the United States under the Treaty of Paris.
For a player to be named later?
Yeah.
First round draft pick.
Yeah.
So, what happened? So they didn't have a status. That was in 1898. In 1917, they were granted citizenship. And coincidentally, it was the start of the World War I. And we needed soldiers to guard the Panama Canal that spoke the language and were also immune to diseases in that area. So immediately, 230,000 Puerto Ricans enlisted in the draft and were sent to the Panama Canal. So since then, men and women have been serving from Puerto Rico in the United States military. At this time, right now, 120,000 people serve.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, and they don't even have a right to vote. So I absolutely agree with this comment that there is no reason that they're still having issues with the infrastructure. They've given their all.
Why don't they have the right to vote?
If they could be in the military, they should have the right to vote.
Right.
I know. So here's a funny thing, too. So if you're a resident of Puerto Rico and you live there, you cannot vote for the president of the United States, even though that's the president that oversees the decisions of the island. if you're a Puerto Rican and you come to New York State and you live here and you start to have and you pick up your residency here, you will have the right to vote as long as you register. Okay. As a girl from New York, if I went and had my residency in Puerto Rico, I would lose that right. So yeah.
That
So
sucks.
it's bizarre. Super bizarre.
They got
Yeah.
it so backwards.
Yeah.
That's the United States government for you.
Yeah.
Never
But I mean,
figure
they
'em out.
haven't been innocent. You know, the Puerto Ricans, the government there too there's been a lot of corruption. But
Is there?
yeah,
Oh,
for
boy.
sure. Yeah.
But I feel like if we make it a state and give them all the benefits of a state, then that corruption, we can get rid of that corruption and actually have elected officials. And, you know,
Well, it's really important. So, and there's two sides of this. You know, Puerto Rico is really different. And when you're down there, you feel it. It does feel like a different country. And it's nobody wants to give that up, you know, the independence and their culture, you know, and I get it. So there is a very strong independent party down there who doesn't want to be a part of the United States, you know, and not because they don't like the United States, they just don't want to give up what they have. And I get it. When you're down there, it really truly feels like a different place. But at this point, you know, 10 years ago, you asked me and I was like, you know what, give them their independence, you know, but now I feel like that's so bad. If we gave them their independence, it would be like Haiti, you know, and it's just like to past a point of no return on fixing the condition of the island right now. So,
They could break up into civil uprising if they were all independent. If it was independent,
I just feel like it would be impossible to come out of the hole that they're in.
or drug cartels take it over.
Yeah.
Right? No, seriously.
Yeah.
But you mentioned corruption in politics. It's in every country.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So
for sure.
unfortunate.
Not
Well,
in
you know,
America.
Oh no, not at all. Not
Here. No.
No, not at all.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great thing that you're doing, going down there and delivering supplies. And you're a beautiful person, Heather.
Oh,
You are.
thanks.
This is so
Yeah.
cool that you're doing this. And you know, if you need help or anything that we can do to help,
Yeah.
please hit us up.
I
here
appreciate
at-
just telling
at
the story,
G.
you know, like,
Yeah.
so I give this like little lecture all over the place all the time. And part of, you know, how I can still contribute is to like share their story. And there's people down there that still don't have, you know, anything. And when they tell you that 3,000 people died, well, they didn't die in the hurricane. They died because they, you know, their lives were dependent on machines and they didn't
Right.
have power to run them, and you know, many other reasons. But
Or
so
couldn't get their meds.
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely. That you know, insulin's got to stay cold. You don't have your insulin. You
oh
know
no,
what
but Trump
happens?
said
Like-
only 12 people died because
I think
Trump
it was
said
16,
it's true.
16. Yeah.
What
So
an
you know,
asshole.
Well, he
I
threw the paper
can-
towel, so everything's good.
Yeah, for sure. He threw paper towels out the window. I see what's going on down there.
threw him into the crowd.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would throw him off a plane, but that's for another
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh God, don't invite me. Feel my blood pressure going up already.
Anyhow, yes, but continue all the success that you're doing.
Thanks
man.
so
I
much.
love what you're doing. I think this is great. And is this something like you're doing the life coaching? Do you have new clients every day coming in, or?
I have some long-term, you know, people that I've been working with. I get asked questions all the time. I'm pretty active in some private groups on Facebook where women can just talk to me all the time. And I love doing that. Like, obviously I'm in it to work. I'm in it to feed my family. This is my job, but there's nothing wrong with like helping someone out with a quick question. So I'm really active in different groups like that. So, if anyone here's listening and they have just a quick question, I love it. And I love actually when I get those kinds of questions, I share them. Obviously with anonymously. So because there's always a situation that you're going through that somebody else can relate with. And when we share them, when we talk about them, we really reach a lot of people and shine light into dark places. So yeah.
Do you have more women
I was
as
just gonna
clients
ask
than
this.
you do?
You know what's really cool? I have 2 men
Do you?
that started life coaching. One has been with me for a while. Another one just recently started, and another one just inquired. So I think it's really powerful when a man sees that, you know, I'm a little bit stuck right now. I just want some insight. And because I think men are made to believe that they have to be manly and they can't touch the side of things. You
And
know,
we
they can't be emotional.
We never ask for directions.
Yeah, totally. Horrible. Or just guidance on anything.
Right.
Stubborn.
Mm-hmm.
Stubborn.
Well, it
Sean.
history it makes you look like a weaker man if you look
Yeah.
for help, and I think that's kind of crazy that people still think that way.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, for sure. But I mean, who suffers?
Right.
It's not. You're not going to change my life if you don't reach out.
Right.
But-
Everybody around you suffers, though.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And your families, and you know, definitely. There's tons of marriages and that have situations because it's like impossible sometimes to communicate. You know, a man and a woman that can't look at the emotional side of things at all. And women are emotional beings, and sometimes men don't want to look at that.
Right.
And even though they are,
And women
Sure.
can be overly emotional and drives the man nuts. You know, like, what are you thinking? What are you doing? And the guy's like, I'm watching TV. You know, like, and like,
oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Well, you're like, oh, so what are you thinking about? And you know, the guy's like, oh, I don't know, I'm hungry. And then the woman's like, oh, well, I was wondering, you know, like, how many people live in, you know, the state of. It's like so much more complex, like the way that they think. Yeah.
You got some fans out there. Trent saying, "What up, Heather?" Also, Stick Panama is saying, "Woo, Heather!" So you've got some fans out there.
Good. Nice.
I feel like a lot of people too, like if going back to like, you know, in a relationship, if they want to talk to somebody, like, you know, if they talk to their friends are gonna be, oh, screw him, he's a dog, he's a jerk. And a lot of times people don't want to take, you know, and tell somebody straight out, hey, you're being an asshole. You're the asshole on this. Not in those terms, but like
You tell me all the time.
I do too.
Well,
you same here.
That's a good example. Like,
But you need it.
Yeah. Well,
You personally.
so what I would
I
say
do.
in a situation like that where somebody's being an asshole, you know, like, why do you think they're being an asshole? Something they did pissed you off. Now you think they're being an asshole, so you're judging them, saying they're being an asshole. Maybe they're not being an asshole. Maybe you need to change the way you're looking at it,
Right.
you know, or set a boundary and say, you know what, I don't like to be spoken to that way, and I will not be spoken to that way. But when you say that, and you say to someone like, don't speak to me that way, or else this is what I'm going to do, including, you know, cutting ties or whatever you need to do, you got to stick to it. Basically, it's all about your action.
Right.
If you want to call someone else an asshole, then you're just being judgmental.
You know, I feel too. What else is missing in this country too is a lot of compromise.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like that's
And
missing?
accountability.
It's my way and that's it. And if you don't look at it that way, then I'm unfriending you. That's the society that we're living in these
Compromise and
days.
accountability.
Right.
You're missing from both. Nobody wants to like say, "Oh, what I did was wrong." You know, I'm sorry, and then nobody else wants, like you said, nobody wants to meet that middle ground.
Nobody. It's my way or that's it. You know, it's always far left or far right. There's nothing in between. You can't be in between. That's why we're so divided right now.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. We need to absolutely come together and compromise and be a little bit more compassionate for ourselves, for each other, I should say.
For sure.
We're in a weird state of times right now. I mean, it's a
People are
weird
acting
state.
out of fear right now. I think
that's
for a lot's
it.
going on.
That's
And
exactly
there's
it.
we only react to two ways. We react out of love. We react out of fear. And there's a lot more fear out there right now than love.
There's
and
no love out there.
no. Mm-mm.
Some people just need help taking the load off. You know what I mean? Like, you know, they got so much going on that they need somebody to just kind of sort things through for them. You know, like somebody to bounce off ideas that's not going to give them a biased opinion. You know, because I mean, you talk to the guys are going to talk to their buddies. And their buddies aren't going to really have a great what's the word I'm trying to like perception of what a woman might want or what, you know, might be going on in her life. They'd be like, screw her, she's just being a chick, you know. And you talk to a girl, then now you get into like more hyper sensitive crap going on in their heads, and the guy just like, I want a pizza, and they're like, well, he's cheating, you know what I mean? Like, you know, things like that. So like they're not getting the right. Sometimes you need that third party, non-biased person.
And they don't have a personal connection with either person, you know. So when you work with people in those situations, you know, I'm not here to make friends with people. You know, I'm here to just help people see what they already know. You know, if you're going through something, you know what you need to do. And sometimes just talking to somebody about it, it comes to you. And you know, no one needs to really tell somebody what they need to be doing. You know, it's basically just a conversation to get people to just follow their gut.
Were any of your clients friends before you took them on as clients?
I do have friends that reach out.
Yeah.
I think people associate life coaching with like therapy, you know, like, oh, if I'm seeing a life coach, I'm broken.
Right.
I don't want anyone to know.
Right, you're
you know?
sitting on a couch with a clipboard.
Yeah, like it's like analyzing people. You know, no, but I do have friends that appreciate what I do and they love my opinion. But I tell them when they ask me, I say, hey, but I'm going to tell you what I think, and I'm going to, you know, you do what you want with my advice. I don't care. You know what you need to do. I'm not going to judge you. You change it. You stay. Whatever you do, I love you, and I'm telling you this information with the intention to help you. That's it. And if you don't like it, that's okay. But it's the intention to help you, and because I love you. But yeah. So I don't have friends as clients, but I feel like I have friends all the time asking me stuff.
Right.
For sure.
I think it's important for you to like unload your feelings, or if you're talking to somebody, to maybe a stranger, because like Chicken said earlier, you're talking to one of your friends and your friend's like, you just suck it up or whatever. But if you're talking to a stranger,
let's go kick his ass.
Right. Right. But if you're talking to a stranger, you know, who doesn't have any personal connections with you, you know, they're more likely to give you better advice than a friend would.
Yeah. And sometimes, you know, your friends will tell you, like, basically you'll be recruiting an army to get to, see things the way you're seeing it right now. But really, why you're so upset about it is the way that you're seeing it right now. So why are you going to recruit people to see the way you're seeing it right now when that's actually what needs to change?
I always say there's three sides to a story: his side, her side, and the truth.
Yeah.
And if you only believe your side and she only believes her side, like, you're never like going to compromise. Nobody's going to ever be accountable for their actions.
Yeah,
So nobody's going to take that step.
If I can go deep for a second, I might lose a few people. I might lose a few people. So
not at
one
all.
of the things that we do with everybody is I go through their timeline, in their life, shit that we've all gone through. And we've all been through shit. Doesn't matter if it was easy, hard. We all can pick a situation. Some people have very difficult situations. Some people have less difficult. But pain is pain. If it was hard for you, it was hard for you. Doesn't matter, because a girl was raped at the age of 10 is a very difficult situation to go through, where somebody, senior night football game, broke their leg and ended their football career, and it was detrimental. Two entirely different things, but caused a lot of trauma in their lives. Each person goes through different things. And with these things, we develop patterns in our lives that we react a certain way to certain situations, So then you have two adults getting together. Each of us have our own patterns that have come straight out of our lives. This is how we react to things, and then we're expected to, like, be peaceful about it. And we all have our shit. So when shit hits the fan in your life, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Well, you're reacting this way because this is the way, you learned how to react. And I learned how to react this way. So, there's always something that a couple can work on to come to a compromise, and understanding that we've been through different experiences in our lives.
Right.
And we have different reactions to things in our lives, because this is what we learn to do. And we don't end up with people that we grew up in our patterns with. You don't marry your siblings and shit like that. So,
As if you're Alabama.
Yeah, I know. Well, you can't have another show about that. But, so you're just trying to, mix things that don't mix and make it work. So it's possible. It's absolutely possible. But you got to understand the compromise and seeing, like, where people are coming from. We're all different. We come through different things.
World.
Yeah.
Well, there it is again. It's there. It's important to open up these conversations, though, and have these kind of discussions, to get people out there to either express themselves or to try to get me and Chicken say this all the time, is we try to encourage people, and for the lack of a better term, stop being a dick.
Yep.
Yeah.
Be a little bit more
positive
and help people out, and try to help people open.
Yeah.
Whether it's holding a door open for somebody or carrying the groceries for an old lady, just do something nice once a day.
Yeah. Well, it's like, a little kid that does something naughty. They're doing it for attention, and like, these situations are a cry for love. And when somebody's being a dick, they need more love. So,
there's something making them be a dick, and I feel like this country, like they love negativity. Something positive could happen, it gets swept under the rug, nobody cares. But then the negative happens, and they're like, everyone's got an opinion. Everyone's all over it, and I don't get it. I wish more people would, take the positive approach. And I think a lot. I think people would just be happier if they just thought in a little more positive way.
Yeah,
I think so too. A little more positivity in your life is going to make your day a lot more brighter.
For sure,
absolutely,
and it's true.
But it's the way you're thinking.
It is.
Have you had
the only way
to really lay out a line for somebody that had to break news to them that they really didn't want to hear but had to hear? You know what I mean? Like, did you have to tell, really kind of?
Like I said, people know what they need to do. I'm real and I'm raw, and I'm not going to sugarcoat what I think in regards to the situation. But basically, I don't tell anybody ever, you have got to do this. That's up to you. I can recommend, hey, this person, in a relationship, you got so-and-so addicted to drugs and the girl's pissed off. You have a relationship with this man who's doing something that you do not approve of. You can't tell him what he's going to do in his life. If you have someone in your life telling you how to live your life, that's not going to work. You put the boundary up and say, I do not want this in my life. And if that's in your life, you don't fit in my life. So I'll lay it out like that. and they have to make that choice what they're going to do. So so sometimes it is hard, to be real with people, because that's not what they want. People come and they think you're going to lay it out for them and fix everything by being like sweet and sugar and like, oh, well, let me tell you, it's okay, honey, you're just a victim right now of this horrible situation. And that's not reality. You're in charge of your life right now. This is a choice you're making to be in the life of somebody who's doing something you do not approve of. That's your choice. So sometimes that's hard, I think, on people when you get hard, with them and try to show them that, hey, like this is a decision you're making. Put the boundaries up. Love yourself so much that you put these boundaries and you won't let somebody break them. So
You got to love yourself before you can put any love out there in the world.
For sure.
It all starts with you.
Yeah, always unstoppable you.
Kai's writing in, he says, if we live by the golden rule, do unto others as what you would others do unto you, it would be a better world. That's taught in the 2nd grade.
True.
And he's so true.
That's true. And he's saying most behavior, good and bad, stems from childhood. And he's 100% right about that. It's all in our upbringing. And
yeah, for sure. So, you have different situations. And as a child, you're scared. So you learn how to react in a situation to get yourself feeling more safe. In our childhood, all we want to feel is love and safe. So we'll learn how to react a specific way. So then what happens is we get to be an adult and we'll have something that triggers basically a similar response. And we'll think back to like, oh, okay, when this happened before in my life, this is how I reacted. And we don't really think about it. It just happens subconsciously. We'll react to a situation exactly how we reacted when we were 10 years old. But now I'm 36 and I'm reacting like a 10-year-old because that's how I knew how to react. So it's basically, redesigning those patterns that we're implementing in our adult life to make better choices for ourselves, to get out of that drama a bit faster than.
And it's tough breaking people out of those patterns.
For sure. It's a lot of work. And this personal development work is not easy. And because you're looking at yourself and you're saying, how can I make this better? And
some people don't even know they're in a pattern.
Right.
They're
just so used to it because that's their upbringing and the way they've gone about their life.
And that's my job, is to show through the homework assignments and stuff, just basically like highlighting like, okay, so this is what you did and this is where it's coming from. And they tell me, I don't know. But asking them the questions of their lives and the stories of their lives and the things that I use and the curriculum I use, it comes out. It just comes out easy.
Give me an idea of what mental homework is.
So some assignments.
Example.
Yeah, like, all right. So, I've done a lot of this work on myself. I have a coach as well. So, and it was really important for me to master what I'm doing, basically, is to go through a program where it was intensive work on me, and then also having a coach too. So, some assignments, writing a letter to somebody who really hurt you, and you can give it to them. You don't have to give it to them, but basically just getting it out there.
I'm a big fan of this.
That
call them my fuck you letters.
Yeah. And, or just a goodbye letter to somebody who you just need to get out of your life. But you don't know how to do it, but really the answer is just walk away, So, writing, a letter or.
I always tell people to write it out, write it as angry as you want, right? So it all comes out, don't send it, like reread it, readjust it, re-edit it till it's almost like a business letter. So now you rewrote it so many times and you got it all out there that like you took all the hate out of it and you just make it almost like a business letter. And now you're like, I got everything out I wanted to say. And now it doesn't matter if you send it or not. You put it out there. It's out there on. Yeah,
for real. Yeah. Another thing too, and this is something, anyone listening can do, especially, single people who have yet to find somebody to be with. And not just single people who are with someone already. Like, what are the 5 major things that you will not compromise in your life? Whether it's, growth, health, what are these 5 major things? And, as you're getting to meet people and you're seeing who they are in your circle, and I don't believe it's ever too early to talk about these things for people who are dating. These things are something I will never settle for. Never. But it's really hard to narrow that down. You can think of like 20 things. Actually, start out with a list of 20 things and then take 5 of them and say I will not compromise that thing. And then you start to look at like the most important people in your life. If they disrespect you in these areas, what purpose do they serve? If these things are so important to you that's who you are, and if people are disrespecting those things, those are your core values, are they meant to be in your life?
And people got to stop looking at being single as a negative.
Oh yeah, no, yeah.
Like people are like, oh, you're single, like, well, what's wrong with you? And like, you need to be with somebody, and you're like, no, maybe I enjoy it because I like my independence, and I'm not going to not going to settle for it, So I feel like a lot of people, as soon as they're single, they jump on these dating sites. They, start worrying about who they're going to meet and trying to be with somebody, that they end up pushing themselves into a bad relationship after bad relationship after bad relationship.
Yeah. See, I think totally. People do need to do what they want to do, what they feel ready for. If they're ready to date, it's fun. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about what you want. You can also take these experiences as practice to say, okay, I'm going on a date tonight, like the things that I want to cover, like the things that are important to me, because if those things aren't really that important to that other person, then I'm not going to be important to them. So, it's a good exercise to like try to learn and have these conversations. So you're not feeling like, oh, it's too early to talk about that. The right people are never going to tell you it's too early to talk about that.
Right.
It's just, dating is a shit show, but it can
really
be a lot of fun.
Communication's key.
For sure. And you can't be afraid of the things that are so important to you, because if you hold those things in, then you're going to end up in the relationships where they don't put the things that are important to you first, because you never told them. Mm-hmm. So whose fault is that?
Right.
You got to take responsibility to make sure that the people in your life know what's important to you.
And I feel like you got to be okay with being who you are as a single individual. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Instead of going from relationship to relationship, because you never take out that baggage. That you carry that baggage from one relationship to the next, and you never have that time to become who you are and figure out what you want as an individual person.
Mm-hmm.
And that goes along with that self-love.
Yeah.
You got to love yourself first before you can put some love
I
out.
think none of this is possible if you don't love yourself. Yeah.
Sean's saying you must have mud on your shoes.
I do. They're so dirty from the hike today.
But
I just tracked through his house and left a whole trail of mud through the whole house. And he's like, oh, don't do that.
Len Samaya check in. He says, you control the vibes you surround yourself with, but you got to know your own vibes and what you project, which is what you attract in return.
Yes.
It's
perfect.
real deep, bro.
Yeah.
What you put out
See?
is what you get
Getting
back.
all these boys to think deep.
See, I like it. I like it. Maybe we'll talk about this off air. Actually, I want to bring something up to her.
On-air meeting.
Yeah, I didn't want to have an on-air meeting, because then all of a sudden we'll have these conversations on like what we should do and all this stuff, and then we find out that all these other groups are doing what we were just talking about. It's like, oh my God, would you listen? So we'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
But, Unstoppable You is where you can find her on Facebook. And do you have a Twitter and all that? Or?
I do. Instagram's more active. My
Instagram.
Twitter is like, I guess I should, get more busy on there. But I haven't used that to the full advantage. Instagram, I get clients off of that, and my Facebook page for sure.
On Facebook.
So
Do you have a regular website too, or?
Yep, unstoppableyoucoach.com. You can find information about my retreat there. It's January 6th through the 12th. It's an all-women's retreat. Yeah, it's going to be so awesome. I'm super pumped
Sounds
about
awesome.
that. Yeah. Yep.
That sounds really cool. We might even go crash it.
Yeah, right?
It's all women. No, I don't know. That might put a bad vibe off on it.
Yeah, no, we won't go crash it.
Yeah. But we'll do one day. Man.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
It would do a men's
It'd be
retreat.
weird because I would be there.
No, that's not weird.
Yeah.
We'll do like a Ninja Warrior.
It'd be like a ranch in Montana.
I did spend a lot of time in Wyoming when I did my certification. That was pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Totally unplugged. No phones, nothing for
that
4
sounds
days.
awesome.
You start to like get the shakes, but like.
What do you do to get certified?
So I did a program. This woman's amazing. She's out of Denver. She kind of designed this program herself. She's like one of those admirable entrepreneurs like me. When I look at her, I'm like, man, if I can just pull off what she's been doing, it's freaking awesome. So she takes, women to go out there. It's a really intensive personal development program, and you come out as a certified life coach with her curriculum. So, and life coaching is a really unregulated industry. Anyone could just say they're a life coach. You could have people who are just amazing. They have those personalities that people just relate with. So they have an easy time doing this. And then you have people who just say they want to be a life coach because they just want to, have a soapbox to teach from or something, So it's very unregulated. So you got to be careful. But this one in particular, we do learn an intensive curriculum that I do use, and it's called, Legacy. And yeah, so she's awesome though, but that was out of Denver. She's out of Denver, but we do spend a lot of time in Wyoming, and then I spent some time in Sedona in Arizona, which is a very amazing place to visit if you've never been. But yeah.
Is there like testing involved?
So they do a lot of observation. It was like 1,800 hours of coaching that I had to do. So they were, listen in, phone calls, live videos, and the other participants, we all have to like coach each other on different things. And It's really neat because you get so close with these women as you get coaching them, and you hear their stories. It's like a 6-month-long program. You hear their stories and you get close with them. It's like a sisterhood. But we all have shit. What's really interesting is like here, I think I'm showing up out in Denver. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be a life coach. I don't have anything going on in my life, and all this stuff starts coming up and I'm like, oh my God, So it's kind of neat how you start to look at yourself and like, really learn that we're all more similar than we are different.
Yeah.
And but 6-month-long program, 1,800 hours coaching. The testing basically is them listening to us, how we're doing it, but we're following a grid, obviously.
Gotcha.
And they're looking at things that we're hitting, different points that we're hitting, different things that we're doing. To complete the program.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I love this. I the whole positivity that you're spreading out there, it's a beautiful thing, and keep doing it. And maybe one day we could get Sean Smith on this show.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm done asking him, but if he just wants to pop in one day, the door's always open for him. So will you let him know?
I'll let him know.
Yeah, thanks. UnstoppableU.com.
Unstoppable You
Coach. Sorry. I can never get it right. I don't even know what day it is. I don't know website.
Maybe you need a life coach.
I do. I need a lot of things, Heather. I need a lot of things. And life coach would be it. I already love myself, so I got the self-love going on right there. But, every now and then I need a little whipping into shape. My girlfriend Tori, though, she's like my life manager.
Yeah.
Like I give her my money. I'm like, here, baby, you take this, and we pay bills. So
yeah.
and you do this, and so I've got that. I got the life manager, but maybe I need a little bit of mental straightening out, if you will.
I think we all do from time to time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in this world, like we're so busy, and there's so much shit that like compiles on our brain that like, you need that. Get it out before it manifests into something bigger.
Yeah.
With this day and age that we're all into like, opiates and mental health and crap like that. Like if we can nip it in the bud before it develops into something bad, I mean, why not do it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Do you remember mental health being a thing back when we were growing up? No. That's because they got us all on pharmaceuticals and stuff like that. So that's for a whole nother.
And we're so afraid.
Yeah.
You got to remember back then too, we were always afraid to talk about that stuff. I mean, if you said anything about mental health, you were automatically bonkers crazy and should be locked up and labeled and
True.
And now we're realizing that it affects a lot of people, and a lot more than we even realize, that somebody's affected by some sort of whether it's just stress related or like caused by an incident that might have happened. Like you talked about that kid breaking his leg. A lot of people are like, oh, no big deal. What if he was a high college recruit? You know what I mean? He banked like on going to school.
Yeah.
For free, getting a scholarship and become like going to the NFL or NBA or whatever it may be. Now he has to go and relearn and actually see what his future is going to be.
Yeah.
Change up his plan.
Yep.
Hey, that's the life ball. The life curveball sends you all the time. It's
Where like some
it's
people
a struggle
might
every day.
It's a huge deal.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens.
Yep.
And you just go through the changes, though. You got to roll through the changes and just move forward and try to make yourself. Like she says, balance. Balance is key too. Mind, body, spirit, soul, all that. If you can keep that all in balance, you're going to be better off in life.
Yep.
Yep.
Got to take care of yourself in all areas.
You say no. The fractured mind is a bookmark in the brain.
Oh, it's a good point.
I like
there,
that, though.
Yeah.
That's a good statement. I like that.
Because you always remember that one that crushed you.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you can't get over it and get that bookmark out,
Exactly.
Like you can.
And erase that.
Yeah. And you may have a situation that triggers you to react or be upset about something. And, everybody, it comes down to something that they're always going to be triggered by, but once you wake up to it and you're aware of it, it's like, you know what? Okay. You got 5 minutes to get over this, Heather. Get over it and let's go. So you're going to be upset. Be upset. Don't hold it in, but get over it quick because you already know this. So yeah.
Or you go for a run.
Yeah. I love doing that. Yeah.
Go to the gym.
Is that your go-to?
Hike Bald Mountain. Yeah. No, I definitely like to work out and I feel it when I don't. Running. It's funny because I don't do as much running now as I used to, but I do more in the gym. Stuff. So I have more of a balanced regime in my life too as I've gotten older. Like running doesn't react the same to my body as it used to. So you get up there and
It gets even worse when you get my age, Heather.
I know.
Some people it's art. Some people it's music.
Yeah.
Some people it's
your
writing.
release. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody needs that creative outlet.
Absolutely.
Just to get it out there.
And I feel
whatever
like
it is.
we don't do that enough. Like people, like they'll come home, they'll watch TV, or they'll jump on a video game, and they don't do anything. They know what they should do. They know they should go to the gym. They know they should put in some art and like kind of stress relief, but they're not doing it. Like people don't section time out to do that stuff.
Yeah, we call those rescues. People that are they'll escape a situation that they're in by going to do something else, like watching TV, sleeping, abusing substances. And I mean abusing. I'm not talking about people who just like to drink or smoke. Or I'm talking about abuse. Where they're doing something to escape the reality. We call those rescues. And basically, they're not, long term. It's just a quick, right now, this is going to draw my attention into this program. And then, I'm going to have to deal with it again later, rather than just face it. Like, let's look at it head on.
No sense of masking it.
Yeah.
Better off to face it head on.
Yeah. Rescues always blow up.
Indeed.
You're just running from it. You're not dealing with it. Like, some people it's sex. Some people it's alcohol. Some people it's drugs. Some people it's whatever. Some people get too addicted to running. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They feel like that's the only outlet, so they just run and run and run.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if there can be an addiction to running. There are people that live by it.
You ever see the thing on HBO with it, they call him the Raven down in Miami Beach?
Oh.
And he runs every day at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, one of the two. And he has packs and packs of people that follow him. And he just runs Miami Beach for hours and then runs back, and he's addicted to it. And there was a thing where when the hurricane came in, or whenever this past year or last year when they had the hurricane, he couldn't run, so he was running around his housing complex, because he's just so addicted to
no
running.
Balance.
He had nowhere to go, so he was just doing laps around his housing or his apartment complex. Crazy. The Raven, look it up. It's an interesting story. Crazy. Heather, thanks so much for coming in. This is
Awesome.
great. I feel like you need to come in more. I like the
whenever you want
positivity
me.
and bring it in, and maybe we can spread some positivity throughout the airwaves here on the D with your knowledge and coming together, and when our twin powers activate.
Yes,
I think it'd be kinda
Get
cool.
some topics. We'll talk about them.
Yeah, I love it.
We'll dissect it right up.
I love how the men chimed in more than the women today.
Yeah, seriously.
I think you guys got a lot of men that listen.
Yeah, the D stands for dick.
Yeah.
Or
I'm seeing
dudes.
the people who are popping on. Like, these are Rotarian friends of mine. Like,
Oh, sorry.
no, it's awesome. Like,
As soon as I said dick, they were out.
I don't know. Maybe they left. I don't know.
Before we get out of here, though, I got to give some love and respect out to the sponsors. Stop into the showroom at 5865 Taberg Road in Rome and see why all the customers love their Nye VW. Give big love and respect out to Nye Volkswagen in Rome. Mention Disruption Network and receive $250 off any purchase. How cool is that? Just by knowing the D, you get $250 off the purchase. Check out their inventory at nyvdubofrome.com. And also, big ups to our boy Eddie Alsheimer, EJA Moving Company. The professional movers, call them today if you're looking to relocate or if you're doing an office move. They got complete packing and unpacking services, competitively priced moving. Call them today at 315-335-0516. They make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Have EJA Moving do all the work for you when it's time to relocate. EJAmoving.com. And we got a big party happening this Saturday. I'm pretty excited for Trip Fest 2. Happening Saturday, 6 p.m., Jewish Community Center, 2310 Oneida Street in Utica. Big lineup music-wise, man. I'm really excited. We've got our good friend Genesee Joe and the Thunder Watt Boys joining us, the Crazy Fools, who Sean Gaffney is a host of the Baseline here at the D. Yep. Also doing a 315 All-Star tribute to the Grateful Dead, because if you're doing a party for Captain Tripp's memory, you got to throw a Grateful Dead band in there. And I'm telling you, man, those guys are sounding tight. I heard some clips on Facebook and stuff. It's going to be
a good lineup.
A huge lineup. And it gets better, because kicking it all off, a band who hasn't played together in like 23 years, Taurus, coming together to play Trip Fest for us. They're kicking it all off at 6 p.m. with Kate Devin, actually.
That's going to be a good show.
Kate Devin, we watched her and Taurus perform at the Stephen Perkins Jump Clinic the other day over at the Delta Marriott, and man, they sound great. They really do. It's going to be awesome.
I'm really curious to hear her with a full band.
Yo, you're gonna love it, because that's what she needs. She needs a good rocking band behind her, and she's only 17 years old, and she's killing it.
17.
She's killing it right now. So Kate Devin,
Yep.
she's definitely on the verge and one to keep an eye out on. That's for damn sure. That's all going down this Saturday. Trip Fest 2. We're going to be bringing out some of Captain Tripp's personal treasures too, because he had the head shops back in the day. So there's a lot
I used
of
to
stuff.
underage drink at his bar.
We all did. We all did. That's where I got my start.
There was a post on Facebook the other day, like name a club that used to be in business, and I think the EC came up on that post.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was like, what? I mean, that's new. Like I'm Captain Tripp.
That's not new.
No, but I mean, that was more recent. Like, how long has Captain Tripp's been done?
They closed like in 2005, I think it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in college. Well,
Many drunken nights over there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
go
That's
right up-
where I got my start. Like, all this doesn't happen if it's not for Captain Tripp and his brother Tommy. So.
Shoot across the street, the pizza pad.
Yeah.
Getting wasted over there. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. There would be no EC if it wasn't for Captain Tripp. So that's for damn sure.
that's awesome.
So tickets are $10 in advance. You can hop over to Big Apple Music and pick yourself up a hard ticket. Partial proceeds to benefit Laney's Army. Laney's Army is a great thing that's going on. They take in strays and rescue dogs and dogs that are pretty much like on their deathbed, and they help them into like the next life, if you will. And there was dogs that were abused and three-legged dogs, and it's kind of sad when you go over there, but they're doing such a cool thing. So they need donations. They need money. They need funds to keep that place going. So we're going to have a couple dogs coming down to Trip Fest too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're going to bring a couple of the nice ones. They're going to come down.
Oh, that's
and-
cool.
Yeah, I mean,
Why not the mean ones?
well, I can think of a couple people to sick the mean ones on, but
Oh, and the means are probably mean because they're abused.
Aw.
they're going to come down, and we got a great night planned for Trip Fest 2 this Saturday. Jewish Community Center, 2310 Oneida Street. Starts at 6. We're done at 11. There's going to be beer, wine, food, music, a whole bunch of great
I mean,
stuff.
kill that on a Thursday. I mean, I imagine on a Saturday.
Saturday, it's going to be off the
Unreal.
charts. We're going to have a great old time. I'm really excited for that.
The Frito Bendito.
Yeah, I could go for one of those right now. A bunch of people are saying, great job today, Heather. Love you,
Yeah.
Mama. Oh, that's Sean.
Heather loves the D. Yep.
Shocking.
You hear
Sean,
that,
you would
Sean?
like that.
Heather loves the
Shocking.
D. Anyways, I want to remind everybody they can listen to this podcast and previous podcasts of EC Radio and all the content we have here on the D at disruptionnetwork.net. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube and all that
Twitch.
stuff, and Twitch and Periscope. And you can pretty much, we're everywhere. Stitcher, Apple Podcast. In fact, if you're on Apple Podcasts and you find us on there, give us a 5-star rating. Google Play as well, too. So tomorrow, you know what we got tomorrow, Chicken? We got a great comedian coming on tomorrow. Actually, we got a manager of a great comedian. We got Artie Lang's manager coming on.
Nice.
Dan Flotto coming on, something that Pelleggi hooked us up with. So Pelleggi will probably be in the studio. And also Kent Rasmussen coming in from part of the 315 All-Star Tribute to the Grateful Dead. So we're going to talk more about Trip Fest tomorrow with Kent. And I'm looking forward to chopping it up with Dan Flotto. He's got some really cool stories, and he was like extras in movies.
Yeah, I
and
heard
stuff like
he's
that.
a pretty interesting guy. What
Yeah.
G was saying.
Yeah.
It had something to do with the Utica White Sox, maybe? Or, I mean, Chicago White Sox. Like, I thought that.
Yeah, he's got some stories. We get a bunch of stories out of him tomorrow. Pelleggi says he's got a great story, and plus he's also Artie Lang's manager, and he manages a couple other comedians out there as well. So we're going to talk to him.
So he's
tomorrow.
like Ari Gold.
Yeah, similar to Ari Gold. Very similar to Ari Gold. But yes, Heather, one more time, it's unstoppableyoucoach.com.
Correct.
See, it took me a whole hour
Oh
to
my
get
God.
it right.
Look at that's success.
Took me a whole hour. See?
One session.
You're rubbing off on me. Thanks again for coming in.
That's awesome.
And we
Thank
will
you
see
for
you
the opportunity.
tomorrow. See you, people.
Bye.
You know what the hell you're listening to? It's EC Radio.
Never you mind what I'm making. You should spend some time taking a personal inventory of what you're doing for the betterment of society.
EC Radio.
Only on the D.
So you just bought your dream home, and now it's time to move. Let's face it, nobody likes to move. All the packing, unpacking, lifting, upstairs, downstairs, and broking everything, including your back. Let the professionals at EJA Moving Company take all the stress and pain out of your move. Competitively priced moving, relocation services, office moves, and complete packing and unpacking services. They work with everybody to make it simple and easy for you to move and relocate. Call EJA Moving Company at 315-335-0516. When it's time to relocate, have EJA Moving do all the work for you. Hit them up online, ejamoving.com.
Hey, Disruption Network. This is Mike Sacco, the general manager at Nye Volkswagen of Rome. If you don't know me by name, it's only because you have not received the best deal. There's only one reason to leave Utica, and that's to come see me in Rome and get the best deal on your next new, pre-owned or certified VW. Mention that you heard this ad from Disruption Network and receive $250 off your next vehicle purchase. You'll know why our customers say, I love my Nye VW. Come see us at 5865 Rome Taberg Road in Rome or visit us online at nyvwofrome.com.
Join us Saturday, October 13th as Disruption Network and Doughboy Barbecue presents Trip Fest 2 at the Jewish Community Center, 2310 Oneida Street in Utica. A night to pay homage to Vinny Captain Trip Moriel. Utica icon, yo! Come pick through all Captain Trip's personal treasures, local artist display, food from Doughboy Barbecue, beer, wine, and live music. Bands include, after a 24-year hiatus, the return of Taurus, Kate Devin, The Crazy Fools, Thunderwatt, and a 315 All-Star tribute to the Grateful Dead. Tickets are $10 in advance and $15 at the door. Partial proceeds to benefit Laney's Army. Doors open at 6 o'clock. Taurus kicks it all off at 6:30. It's Trip Fest 2, Saturday, October 13th. Trip Fest 2 is sponsored by Nye Volkswagen of Rome, 92.7 FM The Drive, Priceless Inspection, Donato Appraisal Services, Dr. Scott Domenico, and Saranac Brewery.
The Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley was born when three top producing agents with over 25 years of combined experience selling real estate joined forces to take real estate to the next level. We practice with honesty, integrity, and the knowledge to help make the buying and selling process easy and stress-free for all of our clients. We pledge to always make our clients our top priority from start to finish and even after the house is closed. We will always be a valued resource for information and assistance for our buyers and sellers. Our customers over the years have become not only past clients, but great friends. As we join hands together as the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley, we look forward to serving our clients and our community and making a positive difference. You can reach us at 315-601-9630 for all of your real estate needs.